Hey, what the fuck is up, guys? So today I'm going to be going over the patch notes, 8.12 update notes, releasing the new god Atlas. Let's just kind of jump into it. So Atlas, I kind of want to go over a little bit more later, but he looks really interesting, very supporty. Doesn't really have amazing scaling. Maybe on his gravity pull looks pretty good. His ultimate, just looking at it, that damage doesn't look too crazy. But again, I haven't really deep dived into Atlas yet, but we're gonna move on. Skins, kind of lame, but those are just Atlas skins. Afro skin, that one looks kind of cool. Everybody likes a magician bunny. You know, we got the Morgan Le Fay, that whole like nebulous look. Christmas skin, kind of a cool Pele skin. Dragon Medusa. Favorite skin out of the bunch, Iroh Bacchus. That's gonna be freaking lit. I love playing Bacchus. I think he's super strong, and Iroh is one of my favorite Avatar characters. So, Chang'e skin, whatever. Amaterasu skin, Hachiman skin. I think that Amuzen Cobb skin looks pretty cool too. Two favorite ones are probably going to be this Amuzen Cobb and Bacchus skin. Moja skin, and then a Hera skin. Oh, and then also these guys down here. Chiron, Raijin, and Set. As for changes, there's a new event going on, replacing the last event. This is going to be the Yule Fest one. That's just the skin event where you can buy skins and whatnot. I'm never really interested in those. Quality of life changes. Added a new duel mode to custom games. If you like to do custom games, it has all the same things that you that take place when you play in like duel, like backdoor HP, I think, right there, or like Titan stuff and whatnot. A lot more just rank changes, MMR and whatnot, rank ban, all or rank conquest, all ban system. Matchmaking changes. Oh, this is a really cool one. So matchmaking changes for players under level 30. For Conquest Arena and Joust, players level 1 to 4 will be routed to co-op versus AI bots. So if you queue up, you'll be in an AI bot battle. If you're level 5 to 29, they'll be routed into their own queue where you can only play against level 5 to 29 players, which I think is super cool. So you kind of don't get put in with the big boys when you're just learning how to play the game. I feel like that turns a lot of people off to MOBAs in general, because I feel like you can play 100 hours in a MOBA and still be shit, you know. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. And then all players level 30 to 160 will be in just normal queues with only players from level 30 to 160. If you are a level 1 to 29 player, though, or 5 to 29 player, partnered up with a level 30 plus player, your entire party will be put in the level 30 to 160 queues, though, so just keeping that in mind. But I think that's super interesting, and the new players will now have their MMR effectively reset upon hitting level 30, as they will be entering a new queue. Really cool quality of life change for some new players. Bug fixes, nothing really too crazy. I mean, the assassin had an ability where her 2 self-buff would last longer than intended if killed. A god decoy, Raijin, he had some issues too. Hide of the Nemean Lion had an issue where it was not stacking. Those have been fixed. Game modes, SWC Conquest, so the winter map will have added some flair to it as we prepare for the Smite World Championships, the Warhammer Trophy, just the changes for the World Champions going on. Anyway, my favorite part is the item changes. Mostly buffs from what I've seen. And Enchanted Spear has 20 extra magical power on it, which is kind of cool. Spear of Desolation has an extra 10 magical power, so, you know, that's not going to be a big change if you weren't already picking up those items, but if you were, nice quality of life. The Spell Focus is getting 10 magical power, and Obsidian Shard is getting 10 magical power. I think that's nice, because I think it still doesn't do as good as Chiron's Coin, just the extra utility from Chiron's Coin, so you're bumping this one up to kind of compete in that. Book of Souls is getting an extra 10 magical power, which is kind of nice. And the Book of the Dead is getting a big nerf, decreasing the shield health on passive from 30% to 25%. That's kind of a small nerf, but last I took a look at it, I thought Book of Dead had 40% of your mana converted into a shield. But it's now going to 25%, so that's going to be a bit of a nerf to it. However, I still think it's a really good item. You know, Book of Thoth has a ton of damage. Book of the Dead, just a nice survivability item. You know, you just want a little extra health to not be blown up. Eye of the Jungle increased HP 5 in jungle from 15 to 20, and increased MP 5 in jungle from 10 to 15. Nice quality of life change. Protector of the Jungle gets 10% increased attack speed as well. Terra's Crushing Earth ability can now only be refired or shattered up both at the same times. It looks like something was going on with that. Melona's getting a buff on her Scourge. It's going from 80 damage to 220 to 90 to 250. So 10 base extra damage and then 30 at the max rank, which is kind of a nice change for Bellona. Ganesh is now not going to be immune while channeling this ability. Ohm. That's a nice change as well. Again, mostly buffs. Vaman is getting a change to his passive. Add a new component to his passive. 10% of physical protections is converted to % attack speed. Example, 100% physical protections now provides 10% attack speed, which I think is awesome. You know, Vaman is somebody that you want to build attack speed on and just kind of stomp people out with your ultimate. Ratatasker is giving increased physical power from 25 to 30 on his Evergreen Acorn, increased from 25 to 30 on his Thick Bark Acorn. Bristle Brush Acorn is now getting 35 to 45 extra power. Increase the buff Ratatasker gains from hitting gods with Dart from 10% physical life steal and 10% basic attack damage to 15 and 15% respectively. And then Thistlethorn Acorn is getting 45 power to 50 power, which is kind of nice. And that's just in change because boots are gone. You know, the Acorn's not really... It was taking the spot of boots. Now that boots are gone, you know, it just feels like it's an item that you have to build in a sense. Mercury now can fire the Made You Look overwalls, which is kind of cool. Neith's Broken Weaves now stay out for 2 minutes instead of 1 minute. And increase the damage on Unravel from 70 base to 190 to 70 base to 350. So that's an extra... Or sorry, 330 or 230. Blah, 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 blah. 230 base damage. So an extra 40 power as you go up. And it looks like it's an extra 10 damage as you rank up, which is kind of cool. Jingwei increases damage per shot from 100% of Jingwei's physical power to 110% on her explosive bolts. I think that's nice. That's a really nice change. I feel like this ability doesn't really do too much, you know, early game. This includes targets hit by the explosion as well. Fixed an issue where her ability screen displayed incorrect basic attack information when explosive bolts was active. Gust decreased mana cost from 70 to 90 to 60 to 80, so it looks like 10 less mana at all ranks. Nice quality of life change. And then decreased mana cost from her airstrike from 100 to 140 to 80 to 120, so a decrease of 20 at all ranks. Medusa's Acid Spray now applies healing reduction equal to 50% for 4 seconds. That's really cool. However, Lacerate no longer applies healing reduction. Now damages minions as Medusa travels through them. Okay. So Lacerate, if I'm understanding that correctly, now damages minions as Medusa travels through them. It does not stop on a minion. It goes through the minions and will damage all of them. It no longer applies that healing reduction, which is kind of whatever. I think it's better on Acid Spray anyway, the healing reduction. Because Lacerate, you just hit one person, you got to be up in their face to kill them. Acid Spray, you can kind of just throw it out, and it hits, you know, whoever it hits, and I think that's pretty good. And then new skin voice actors, this is a list of them. Anyway, that's the patch notes. It mainly just buffs to pretty much everybody around the board who needed some, apparently. And then Atlas, the new god coming out. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.